waiting on way too high. Perhaps he's way too high. I'm bleeping in and out because I am sharing the stream, so bear with me. I'm not disconnecting. It's not a glitch. Just bear with me. Where'd Chris go?
He just left.
He just left?
I guess he's in the front yard.
All right. Well, so far it's looking like it's just me. I invited a couple of other people. Don't know if they're going to show up or not, but that's okay. We can get started without them. I am here basically to talk about investments and what investments you guys have and what I have. I'm happy to share whatever information I can provide. I'm trying to get this stupid selfie stick to do the right thing here. Help! If I can get it to bend there. All right. It looks like way too high is not high enough yet. He is setting up I am going outside for a smoke, so hold off on the questions. I see a whole none of you are eager to ask. You know, this is a very serious stream, apparently. I know we were a little late. I fell asleep. It's been a long day. Trading futures takes a lot out of you. Speaking of which, I might need my tablet to see how much money I've lost today. Because I've lost far, far, far too much. And my cousin, Chris, says that he has some things to say about silver. Let me tell you, he's very opinionated and very conspiracy oriented. But hey, you know what? All perspectives matter. Kind of. He's a good guy. He's letting me stay here. So we're going to hear him out. I sent him an invite like I sent Way Too High an invite. I'm Buck. Way Too High. His name is Thomas. He will be along shortly. And I also sent invites to a couple of people who don't know anything about investments. And I sent it to them because it's good to have some fresh perspective on nothing. But anyway, if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and we might read them. If you send it along with a super chat, we'll definitely read them. Depends on the question, and it also depends on how many people are watching. Right now, it looks like we've got 2 people watching. I appreciate you waiting. We are just getting started. We're running a little bit late. Thomas is having trouble, apparently. Hurry up. It is cold outside in Charleston. Burr. Yeah, my cousin actually woke me up, came running the room saying, "Are you live yet? Are you live yet?" And I said, "Oh," and jumped up. And he's like, "Well, I've got notes. I want you to put me on. I got a lot to say about banks, about globalism, blah 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 blah." blah." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, okay, give me a second." I just woke up, and then he ran out the door, popped in the car, and took off. Now I don't know what's up with that. Maybe he's going to maybe he's going to go get a hostage. That's what you need in this situation, a hostage. Let me see what's taking Thomas so long. Are you having problems? Because we are live now, waiting on Thomas. That's my radio voice. We are live now, waiting on Thomas. Actually, that's my Duff Man voice. Duff Man. Yeah, so we are here today to talk about investments, silver, Bitcoin, whatever stocks you may have questions on. Whether you think they're a good, whether we think they're a good buy or not. Hopefully, we can get to your question. Hopefully, we're not flooded with them, huh? I am going to check on my current investment. I've got some silver futures going on. Oh yeah, baby. We're doing good. We're doing good. Now, if only my messages to him had no fucking audio. Duffman is here to party. Duffman. No, I'm not here to party. Here to get to work. I don't know what's taking Thomas so long. I don't know what the holdup is. I sent him a link. He clicked the link. Boom, done. How you like the hoodie? Dump the dollar. Bitcoin is the way. That's my design. Fat pending. We got that design on stickers. Collab thing is only on the phone. So what's it saying? Here I am trying to troubleshoot this guy to get on. I'm wasting valuable time here. We're here to party. Telling him to restart his phone. We are setting up here. Right next to the picture of Jesus. Not like that'll be of any help. Jesus will not help you with your investments. I know from personal experience. I know from my investments dying and screaming, Jesus help! And nothing happened. It's bro. I'm looking for my keyboard. I don't really need the keyboard. This is the first time we've done this little collab. First time we've done what do you call it? Live stream with multiple people. First time we've done a live stream with any purpose other than, for fun or for shits and giggles. I just busted out my Genius Trader mat, which turned out was a really good mat. Here, let me show you. These are all of your stock patterns. Little cheat sheet. It comes in handy. It really does. I highly suggest you get one. And it's like a mouse pad. A big, big mouse pad. Most of these little cheat sheets come in handy for stocks and whatnot. They are not as accurate when it comes to crypto. Crypto deviates a little bit from the norm. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes you can count on those to accurately represent crypto, but sometimes not. All right, here we are. I am technically homeless at the moment, so I am making do a little makeshift office here. Currently waiting on Thomas to join us. So, I guess I can get into it. First, we can start with silver. Now, as we all know, silver has been running and running and running. Why? Well, I don't know. Well, silver is an industrial metal, first and foremost. And it has long since not been part of our, it's not long since not been pegged to any monetary system for a while, even though it's been used in money before. But a silver dollar that says $1 now, currently at the moment, right now, is worth $113.02. That's insane. Silver last week. Let's see, what was it last week? It was a lot lower. My chart, I don't feel like going far back because I have current investments and I'm watching live. But yesterday, if you were watching the value of silver, you watched magic occur. It ran from like, what was it, 107 or 8 all the way to 117, and then it crashed in like 4 minutes. It came all the way back down. And then for the rest of the day, it kept crashing all the way down to 102. Now, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean that the fun is over. It means that it was overheated and running too fast. And usually, when you have a good investment, you'll notice a staggered move forward. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's healthy. So anytime you see a long run with no break in it, there's either some form of manipulation going on, moving way too quick. And when it moves too quick, the RSI heats up, which is a very important indicator. If you pull up TradingView, you can add an RSI indicator at the bottom, which you definitely should be using something like TradingView if you're doing any of these sorts of trades with silver futures. If you're just holding hard silver, then obviously you're not concerned with the minute to minute. But we've been trading futures and derivatives, and we are concerned with the minute to minute because, if you've got, say, $1,000 to invest, you drop $1,000 into silver futures, and then work with whatever leverage your exchange is offering. I am with Coinbase right now. In fact, there's a link in the description to get, I think they'll give you $50 free if you sign up using my link. If you trade futures, every dollar that silver goes up, you make way more, depending on your investment. I had about 4 grand in it at one point, and every 30 cents silver was going up, I was getting $100. So you can imagine my happiness when it ran up to $117, and then conversely, my dismay when it started plummeting. So I pulled out. I was up to a profit of about $2,500 at that point. When it started plummeting, I had a stop loss set to where I would still walk away with $1,000. Don't ever forget how to use stop loss. It will save your life. Trust me. Don't just sit there hoping, oh, it's going to go up, it's going to go up. No, 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 bro. No, 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 no. Market doesn't care about your feelings. Put a stop loss in. You can even do a trailing stop loss, which is as the price goes up of whatever you're trading, so does your stop loss. Some exchanges don't offer the trailing stop loss, so you got to stay behind it and keep on making a new one, which is fine because if you're not paying attention to your investment, you are going to get screwed, bent over and screwed. The market rests for no one, it makes no apologies. But silver is running because of a number of reasons. I'm going to wait until Chris gets here because he's going to add some very interesting perspective on why. It'll be very interesting indeed. Just take it with a grain of salt. Now, what I have noticed when it comes to investments and taking other people's advice, nobody's an expert. There's no such thing as an expert. If anyone claims to be an expert, you might not want to listen to them because they're full of themselves. And anyone who's full of themselves is going to be too sure of themselves, and they're too sure of themselves. At some point, they're going to be wrong. That's just the way the market works. If there was such a thing as an expert, and if anybody knew all there was to be known, well, then they'd be a millionaire, wouldn't they? And then the market would be predictable, and then everybody would be millionaires. The market doesn't work like that. You must gather all the information you can, look for the common denominators, look for the things that everybody's saying that are similar, and draw your own conclusions. The same thing applies for when you're, let's say, looking for a company to invest in. You've got a pile of cash, you've never invested in anything in the stock market or anything like that before, you want to know what's hot. Well, that's kind of not the approach to go by. The best approach to go by is find a product or a business that you believe in. Because, when you believe in something, you're going to put more effort into it. That's just science. You're going to be, well, what's the term? There's a term for it. It's something like a bias inclination, to where when you're interested in something, you're just going to be more aware of what's going on with it. That sounds like an oxymoron, like no kidding, but that's not an oxymoron. That sounds like a big duh. How about that? To use the common vernacular. So with silver, I have always believed in silver. I love it. First and foremost because it's shiny. And for second, just the history of silver and the Hunt brothers. I can't always remember everybody's last names. The Hunt brothers that cornered the market in the 70s, where they tried to gather up the world's silver, and they effectively ran the value of silver way up. That was a pretty big accomplishment. I don't even know that that's possible these days, because with the internet and whatnot, we have the added benefit of being able to call BS on certain things. Now, did the Hunt brothers actually gather up the world's silver? Probably not. But when the rumor was circulating, and whatever proof that may have been going around, like, oh, maybe the scarcity, maybe somebody found out that they were trying to corner the market and get all the world's silver, and somebody saw their reserve and saw it was a lot, and then they themselves had trouble finding silver. Well, that's really all they had to go by, right? They didn't have the internet. They didn't have the way we're all so interconnected these days to be able to, provide data and analyze things the way that we do. remember back then the stock market was all on paper. Can you imagine? There was no Robinhood, there was no Webull, there was no Coinbase. Just imagine if you wanted to buy stocks, you had to go to someone's office, you had to pay whatever fee they wanted to charge you, and then they'd sign some papers and they would hand you your stocks. And you'd take those home and put them in a file cabinet. There was no checking the value every day. Nope. The only way you could check the values of anything is if you had a copy of the Wall Street Journal, and the value would be in that paper for the day. You wouldn't be there was no looking at it minute by minute unless you worked on Wall Street. There was no stock tickers on your phone. There was no alerts saying sell now, sell now. The days of the short seller, and I don't mean selling shorts, I mean day traders. Day of the day trading that hadn't been born yet. At least not on the level that it is today. Because with all of the resources at our fingertips, things have drastically changed over the last 10 years. They've drastically changed, but over the last 50, they have changed immensely. Let's see what way too high is up to. Sent him an invite hours ago. You'd think that we would have ran some checks and tested all this first. But we didn't. He's saying he's having trouble with YouTube's app on his phone, and YouTube won't let him connect to the to the live stream unless he's on a phone, which I think is pretty stupid. YouTube, you need to fix that. Okay, so currently silver is sitting at $113.75. And if I zoom out, I'm looking at a 5-minute candle because I have some investment going on here. I'm going to go to 4-hour candles. And all I can say is up, 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 up we go. Is it a good time to buy silver now? Well, yeah. I know it feels like you're getting in at the top of the market. And who knows? If silver crashed down to $30 tomorrow, there'd be a lot of bag holders. But Fibonacci. Do you know what Fibonacci is? Fibonacci sequence of numbers. The golden ratio, the number that's found in nature everywhere. Do you know what Fibonacci is? Well, some geniuses figured out you could apply it to the stock market with alarming results. It's odd because even though this Fibonacci pattern, is found in nature everywhere, how is the stock market even related to nature? It's all numbers on a screen. Turns out it is related. And if you look at the Fibonacci numbers, the first milestone, and this is going back using the all-time chart from the beginning, like including the Hunt brothers back in the 70s or 80s, whenever they tried to corner that market. This is taking that data into account. And basically, there are 3 numbers that arise when it comes to using Fibonacci to predict values of anything. I forget what the numbers are, but I think it's 1.86 is the first one. I think I could be wrong about that. But at any rate, the first number on the Fibonacci prediction for silver was $125. It ran to 117 the other day. That's pretty close. But this is exact, saying that it should hit $125, and it will hit $125. Fibonacci never lies. The further out you go, though, the more accurate or the less accurate those predictions become. The first one is usually spot on. So even though it hit 117, I'm inclined to say that that's close enough that we could call that. My cousin on the other hand, did not buy that. He said no, it has to hit 125 exactly. So okay, whatever he says. He hasn't always been right with some of his predictions, but again, there's no such thing as an expert. So the Fibonacci, though, I have seen work remarkably well. It's almost scary how the Fibonacci sequence, the Fibonacci pattern can actually be found in stocks. It's mind blowing to me. You know, I'm no expert, certainly no expert. But anyway, the next number in that series is $148 per ounce for silver. Now, in order for these numbers to actually hit, there have to be crashes in there. Well, what you'd call a crash. I'd call it a healthy pullback. Kind of like about 20 years ago, I had a healthy pullback on my skin. I look old. I'll be 48 in April. Anyway, so the next number after $125 is $148. After the $148 is 200. That's where everybody's getting this $200 an ounce figure. It's not something they're pulling out of their ass. This is a Fibonacci, if you want to call it science-based thing. It's a very accurate predictor when it comes to stocks and commodities such as silver. So, do I believe it'll hit $200? Yes. When? Well, I tell you what. What has to happen before that $200 mark is a pullback to $70. So, at some point, silver is going to pull back to around $70. At this point, I would say, being that that's even further out from the beginning, it's going to become less and less pinpointable. It's going to become less and less as highly accurate as that first figure of $125. And then the 148 could actually be a range somewhere between 140 and 160. Anywhere in there could be that range. Then there will be another little pullback. That pullback will probably go back to around where we're at now. Yeah, it's all based on a percentage. I don't fully understand exactly how Fibonacci works when it comes to stocks. I'm sure if somebody explained it to me, it would be like, oh, because I am familiar with the numbers. I am familiar with the math, and I am not bad at math, so I get it. So before that 200 mark comes, we're going to have a disastrous, for some, pullback. If you don't see it coming, you're going to think the sky is falling. So my advice to you is if you're in silver, like paper trading silver, you're not going to care about any of this if you've got hard metal assets. It's not going to affect you because there's no way of putting leverage on that silver you got in your hand. But if you're playing with futures like I am, SLRH 2026 silver futures, March 2026. That's a short term. There are other futures you can trade on, but that's the short term. I'll explain the difference in a second. But when you're trading with those, and we reach that 148 mark, I would say around 135, you're going to want to pull out and maybe even get yourself a short. When to buy that short, I can't say. I need to put a disclaimer in this entire chat of not financial advice. But yeah, you're going to want to put a stop loss in for sure because that crash back to 70, that's going to cause some people to, I don't know. Some people get heavily invested, and when they lose everything, it can sting. I can relate. I have lost a lot of money in the last few weeks. A lot of money. 5 figures. I won't even really get into it because that's not what this is about. Let me see where dude is because, come on, what's the problem? What is the problem? He said my voice chats weren't working. What is the problem? phone, probably because YouTube takes over your phone when you're running a live stream. I wanted to get him in on a split screen because, it's just better that way. But if I have to, I'll pull him up. I wanted to get him in on a split screen because it would just be more professional like. But if I have to, I will just focus the camera here on my tablet with him on screen if he's willing to go do video in this here chat. So, everything I just said is a message I'm going to send to him, and we're going to send now. I wanted to get him in on a split screen because it would just be more professional like. But if I have to, I will just focus the camera here on my tablet with him on screen if he's willing to go video in this here chat. So, everything I just said is a message I'm going to send to him, and we're going to send now. I always listen to my own messages because I got to know how it sounds. I don't know if I'm sounding stupid or if maybe my message is being misinterpreted. Yeah, I have to know, so I always listen to my own messages. So he says, first it was update Play Store, then YouTube, and now I'm back to trying to find out why YouTube is crashing. I can't even send voice messages on here. It just doesn't send or gets stuck on sending. The only way this happens is if you just have me in the background because I'll be fighting this phone for ages. And it won't let you do it on the computer. You would think, we just do it on the computer. All right. Well, that's fine. We will go ahead and set up a call with him momentarily. This is ghetto. I was hoping for more. So we are currently waiting on Thomas. He's having some technical issues. I was really hoping to get him on screen side by side with me so we could answer you guys' questions. And so far, I don't even see any questions, so I would assume nobody even really cares. But we're here. We're here to answer questions that you might have about the market. And so far, we've been talking a lot about silver. What's next? Comment below what you'd like to discuss. It could be anything. Thomas is typing away. All right, well, let's pull him up then, shall we? All right, you want to get on, and I go ahead and do it. You got to answer. All right. All right. Why are you sideways? Help. No. That looks like the floor. This is pretty ghetto.
Very much so. Can't even answer on the PC on Facebook. It just says nah. Hey, what's on here, I guess. The one thing that works on here.
Right. How do I put side by side on here? I want this to be side by side, you see. I want to add people. So, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin today, Thomas?
It's doing something. I thought it had. I don't know.
You look way too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, my started earlier, but
Huh. Well, if I can't understand what the hell you're saying, I doubt that our viewers can. So, I will just have you here on standby, and we will continue with the Q&A if there are any Q's. I got you A right here. Welcome to my cash. That's how you have to say it. It is called my cash. It's not my cash. It's not my cash. It's not my cash. It's not my cash. No, it's my cash. Do you concur, Sir Thomas? He said he didn't know if he can.
it's very hard to stay upright.
He's trying very hard to stay up late. Is that what you said?
Stay upright.
Oh.
You know, it's supposed to what?
This is my screen that I've got. I've got to wait. I got silver futures on one half, and then I've got the silver futures chart, and then I've got Sir Thomas there at the bottom. Well, you know, what if I were to go live on a device that wasn't a mobile device and then try and add you to it? Maybe your mobile device sucks. Yeah?
It does very much suck.
Huh, that is true. It does suck. Hey, Brian Beck wants to add himself to the stream. Boom. Come on in, Brian. We're discussing.
Yeah. You sleeping?
Hey, there he is. Brian,
Bucky.
you are live on the My Cash Show.
Oh man, what's going on?
How you doing, Brian? How you doing? Talk to me.
I'm doing great. We're in Tucson, Arizona.
Arizona? You mean where they
Tucson.
make that tea?
It's 75 degrees today.
Ah,
And based on my performance on the golf course, I have very unrealistic expectations for my performance this weekend.
huh. Well, fabulous, man. Fabulous. Glad to hear you were in Arizona. Check out
Fabulous.
my hoodie. That's my design, baby.
Ooh, I like it a lot. It looks good.
Too bad it's mirrored. Yeah, dump the dollar. Bitcoin is the way.
I like it.
You can buy it for $39.95. And it's also got Bitcoin on the sleeve. That's an extra $5.
Ooh, that's very nice. That's an extra $5. Let's church it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. It's a nice hoodie. So I've got my my constituent, my very esteemed constituent over here. He is right here on another way of being live. He was supposed to be in the little box that you're in now. Thomas, I'm holding you up to the screen. Say hi to Brian, Thomas.
Hello.
Modern technology. He was having problems with his phone. He was having problems getting connected. I sent him an invite just like I sent you an invite, and he was unable to get connected. So here we are with open question and answers for anybody who might have any questions. We've only got 3 people watching, and there's 3 of us here. I'm imagining those 3 people are us.
Yeah, probably. I honestly don't know shit about Bitcoin. I got minimal amount of investments across I got 2 different investment accounts. One a Charles Schwab account that I have a penny stock that I have like 40,000 shares of that I think is going to go off, and then I have a Edward Raymond James account with a stockbroker who's bought me some things like I want to say Apple, Tesla, Facebook, some nonsense shit like that spread across a few things, and he moves money
A
around for me
magnificent
because I don't have
seven.
the patience for it.
That sounds like one of those magnificent 7 ETFs or something, maybe.
But I just don't know much about it, so I'd love to learn more from you and your channel, and especially the Bitcoin thing because I missed out on that when it happened the first time.
Well, that's the thing about Bitcoin. There's no missing out.
Mm-hmm.
You can still get in on it. Faux show.
I love that.
You can still lose your ass and lose a lot of money doing it. You got to know what you're doing, and not take your eye off the ball. You know what I mean?
No, I
Some
know I
people,
should have bought it in like I don't even really remember. Maybe I would have paid 6, 7, 8 years ago or something. My buddy's like, "Yo, give me 10 grand. I'm gonna buy you Bitcoin. I'm gonna put you some Bitcoin for you. Just put 10 grand in there. You probably gonna get like 4 or 5 Bitcoin." And I was like, "Oh, great. That seems like a lot. I should have done that. I didn't do it."
yeah. Did you know that 15 years ago, if you had put $1,000 on Bitcoin, that $1,000 would now be worth over $1 billion?
It's wild. It is
Yeah.
really wild.
But 15 years ago, the idea of dumping $1,000 into this magic internet coin was a pretty lunatic idea.
Yeah, for sure. It was nonsense.
Yeah, it was. I remember hearing about Bitcoin back then and thinking, you know what? This is going to take off. I need to get in on it. And I was like, nah, it's probably a scam.
Yeah.
I remember
How's it
hearing
going in the
about it in
chuck?
2008. Huh?
How's it going in the chuck?
How's it going in the truck?
In the Chuck Town.
Oh, and in the chuck. Oh, yeah, Charleston's Charleston. I am currently staying at my cousin Chris's house. Did you ever meet Chris Doogie?
No, you asked me about that the other day. I don't remember, but maybe when I come
He had
visit, I'll
a,
meet him.
he has a gorgeous sister, Karen. They're both
Mm.
my cousins, but you may remember Karen more than you remember Chris, and I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah. I just booked my tickets to come home end of March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? I might actually still be here because my trip has been pushed off a few weeks because of the vet and all that.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so. I hope I get to see you.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
It'd be more than awesome.
Yeah,
Glorious.
I haven't seen you in forever. And tell anybody listening, it's because of this man right here that I was able to get out from under the burden of my house and attempt to make this Thailand dream come true.
Bro,
That's just,
nobody
that's
su-
just,
no nobody supports this dream more than me.
yeah, that's right. That's true. That's true.
But I mean just emotionally, you know what I mean? Mentally, physically, and emotionally with my heart, I support it.
Yes, and fiscally.
Yeah, yeah, but that's all
Yeah,
neither here nor there. That's in the past. You paid me
yeah,
back plus some.
that's right. That's right. Because that's how I do it, baby.
Mm-hmm. I
As
love
I
you. Hey,
think.
I'm gonna get off and go back to my family, but I just wanted to see your face. You know what I mean?
Hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming to the My Cash Show.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
see you guys later.
Yeah. Hey.
Next time, I
Yeah.
hope there's a couple 100,000 motherfuckers on here so I can really make a scene. You know?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
All right. Later.
Later, dude. Love you in the mouth.
Love you more in the mouth.
Get out of here. There we go. All right. He actually sent a request to join. Yeah, he's gone. He actually sent a request to join, but I had originally sent him an invite. So perhaps he just clicked on it. I don't know. So I sent him the same invite link that I sent you, Thomas. Where are you, Thomas? When's the last time you tried? Currently, silver is sitting at $113. It is approaching its last all-time high that it hit yesterday. This is what I like to see. This is a sign of a security that is, for one, overheated, but for two, if you're trying to make some short-term money on it, this is definitely a sign you want to see. But keep an eye on that RSI. I have another video that explains RSI. You should go watch. Don't worry, we'll be right here if you want to go watch it and come back, because we are gathering our notes. This is the first time we've done the show like this. We're up to 4 people watching now. That's a new best. But yeah, got to spend money to make money or something. So if you have any questions related to silver or gold, any precious metals, or related to Bitcoin or any crypto for that matter, or the stock market, by all means, drop them in the chat and we will answer them for you. I know the title of the video says that Way Too High, aka Thomas, was going to be here, and he is here. He's just having trouble connecting because his phone sucks. Ain't that right? The people want to know, Thomas. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, Thomas? I guess you can't hear me. So, if anybody has any questions about the stock market or any investment related questions, anything, even if it's about a particular exchange, I recently put a video up regarding crypto.com and how I will never use them again, and you should not use them either, because they straight up lied to me twice. They straight up ripped my son off for several $1,000s. They tried to rip me off, but I called them out on it, and they made the mistake of confessing to their mistake, and then tried to talk it back and try and say that. See, what happened was their system went down. This is last year. Their system went down, and they told me on the chat their system went down. It was their fault. Okay. After they told me this, they then proceeded to tell me that there was no liquidity in the market, which is a lie. Come on. They're trying to say, because see, sometimes when you have, when you're playing with contracts, when you're playing with derivatives contracts, when you get close to your liquidation or close to your fulfillment, because when you're playing a range. If you go to the bottom half of your range, you lose all your money. Because the top half of the range, the contract fulfills, you get all the money in the contract. That's how crypto's contract works. Crypto.com's contracts works. When you're playing with derivatives in any other exchange, it works a little differently than that. But crypto.com is a little more streamlined, and they do this to make it easier. And yeah, so what happened was their system went down, and it was right in the middle of my range. And all of a sudden, all my contracts, which I had I had two at the time, they both said no liquidity, which was a lie. That was the computer's reaction to their system going down. There was liquidity in the market, but the computer was showing there was no liquidity in the market because the system went down. Okay, fair enough, right? Easy enough to admit to and give people their money back. Well, my contracts were safe, but the time was running out. And the time ran out on my contracts before they fixed their system. So it processed it as a loss and took all of my money. So I spent a few days arguing with these people on crypto.com because they had already told me that it was because their system went down. And then this guy gets on and he's trying to say, well, if there's no liquidity in the market, there's nobody to buy your contract. I'm like, that's not how that works. He was trying to call my bluff, and pretending that I was stupid and didn't know what I was doing. So after fighting with them for hours, days, I really don't remember how long, it's all a blur, I finally got them to refund the money that belonged to me. And it was a total of about $700. This time around here lately, I signed up for Plus, where you pay monthly and you get all kinds of other little perks out of the deal. And one of those perks is you don't pay any trading fees whatsoever for the first $20,000 you spend every month. Okay. That sounds like an easy concept, right? Well, after $10,000 worth of trades in a week, I still had 3 weeks to go. They started charging me those fees. Well, listen, buddy, it said 20,000, not 10,000. I went back and did the math and found it was right at $10,000. They started charging me fees again. So for weeks now, there's been an open chat with support. Oh, we have escalated your claim, blah, 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 blah. We're trying to find out, blah, 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 blah. Lies. They're just stringing me along in the hopes that I give up. So that's why I made the video that I made to expose them. And then I stopped payment on about $10,000 worth of transfers to them, and they can eat it. And I went back to support and I told them all of what I just told you and said, you're not going to get your money. And I'm putting a video on Facebook and Rumble if you don't give me my fees back. And the fees we're talking are in the hundreds of dollars, probably pushing 1,000 at least, just because it was a lot of transactions. I bought a lot of crypto. Lost a lot of crypto too. I lost a lot of money those few weeks. I'm reluctant to say. If you super chat me, maybe I'll say, but let's just say it was 5 figures, okay? Yeah. Well, there's way too high in the chat. Well, maybe you can stay right there and chat with us, Sir Thomas. He's also an admin. If anybody has any questions, please, by all means, drop them in the comment section, and we will answer them. Did you, Sir Thomas, did you share this wonderful, glorious thing all over the place? I shared it all over X. I shared it on Facebook. I also shared it on, did I already say Facebook? I feel like I already said Facebook. Facebook. I shared it on Threads. I shared it on YouTube. I shared it all over X. And I shared it on Instagram. Hey, look, it's me on the TV with this same stream. What do you know? So, I find it hard to believe nobody has any questions. We have 4 people watching. So, Discord, okay. I cannot find my light tray. Say hello, little kitty. Hi, little kitty, kitty, kitty. Where did my lighter go? I bet I left it outside. Whoa. Whoa. Well, see, that's me because I'm underwater in my debt. That's me right there. That is an accurate representation. I'm going to leave that on. I'm drowning in debt. Just playing with these effects until someone has a question, because that is what this my cash is all about, is a Q&A. If anybody has any investment questions, crypto, silver, gold, copper, palladium, rhodium, any of it really. And of course, stonks. Hey, look, you can get a good view of what the shirt is supposed to say. Dump the dollar. Bitcoin is the way. That is my design. And you can get that on a shirt, on a hat, on a bird, on a cat. You can get it however you want it in our store. Links are in the description. I hate sounding like a shill, but I got to make money somehow. I've lost far too much of it. No, that's what you got to be. That's how you got to be when you're trading. You got to have 4 eyes. Maybe an eye on your finger too. Now, is this my cousin Chris pulling up? If it is, I do believe it is. It's about to get live, baby. It's about to get nuts. I don't think that is him, because he would have pulled into his place. I see what I see when I see that, when I see those lights. What's the song? What's the song, Thomas? Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. I think it's cool because that light behind me is white. Whoa. I'm just trying out these little filters because I'm bored because nobody has any questions. Ah, there it is. That's me. That's me because I'm a maxi. We're going to leave that one on. Indoor does the song. take a couple screenshots. That'll be for the next stream. See, that way I can show my teeth without them scaring everybody off. Bitcoin Maxi, baby. What is a Bitcoin Maxi, you might ask? Well, Bitcoin Maxi is someone who puts all of their money into Bitcoin and leaves it there. Every dollar, every cent that I get goes into Bitcoin and it stays there. And I spend it as Bitcoin because with some exchanges that have debit cards, you can load it up with Bitcoin so that anytime you spend, it automatically converts it to dollars and spends it. I leave my dollars in Bitcoin because I do not believe in the dollar. I do believe in Bitcoin. I only wish that right now I could put all my money in silver. Well, actually, I do have a lot of my money in silver on futures contracts. Anyway, you shake it though. I am a maxi. So come on, who has some questions? This is a Q&A. If nobody has any questions, we're going to end this stream because the point of this was to discuss crypto and silver and stocks. I'll tell you right now, super micro strategy and Nvidia and SLV and SLVP. I have calls on all of them right now. And not professional advice, not financial advice, but I would tell my friends that you should do the same because in the next few weeks, wild things are going to happen, especially with silver and Fibonacci, as it were, we were talking about earlier before Thomas came on. My cousin Adam did a Fibonacci thing with silver. 125 is the next target, and then it's 148, and then 200. But before it goes to 200, it will recorrect and it's going to drop all the way down to about 60 or 70 before it hits that 200. So make sure you get your stop losses in. Because just like the other day when we watched silver drop, it ran all the way up to $117 in like an hour. It ran up to $117. And then in 4 minutes, it crashed all the way down to like 107. And buddy, let me tell you, if you had some futures like I did, you watched a $3,000 profit turn into a negative $2,000. Gone like that. But I had a stop loss in, and I salvaged $1,000 out of all of that. And then I got back in too early and lost it. And then decided, okay, well maybe I'll take a short. I got 500 of it back. And I was like, okay, maybe it's over. Let me go long. Then I lost the remaining of the $5,000 that I lost that day, which was just another notch. Right now I have some future contracts going. We are at $113 an ounce. Well, excuse me, we're at $112 an ounce, and we're running up high. I've got 4 contracts that I bought in. I got in at 112.36. It is only at 112.52, and I'm $230 in profit. Okay, are you starting to see the futures buying these contracts? That's the way to go. It's very dangerous, though. Very dangerous indeed. You can lose it all in a second. So you got to watch these charts like a hawk. Apparently, we've only been live for 26 minutes. No. Been live for a lot longer than that. 26 minutes ago is probably when I did something that switched away. All right. Well, Thomas, get your phone situated, get your phone straightened out so we can do this right the next time. And since nobody's asking any questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream with you go out there and get your cash. And yeah, maybe next time ask some questions so I'm not sitting here like a moron waiting on nothing. Thanks for watching, though. Y'all have a good night.